Welcome back to U-Versus. Today we are covering Evil Dead 2, made in 1987. This is a sort of reboot of the first movie, since we get a 10 minutes retelling of the original story, with different things happening. I honestly like this film so much more than the original anyway, since it feels way more serious, but also more funnier than the original as well. But can you be serious when fighting the Deadites? Let's find out and get into the film. Okay, before the episode starts, can you please consider subscribing to my channel, since we need to get to 100 subs before the year ends. Or if you don't, consider liking or hyping this video. Okay, bye. We start with a narration about the book from the first film, where it's first named the Necronomicon, from what I know. Apparently, it was wrote when the seas were blood red, but I don't see Markiplier in the submarine anywhere. We get into the movie quickly, since Ash and his girlfriend are already in the cabin. Ash flirts with his girlfriend, Linda, which shows this is a sort of reboot, since she died last movie. And none of her friends are there either. And before we know it, Ash is already listening to the tape from the last movie, and Linda is grabbed and dragged outside. We already gave advice to Linda last episode, and she died similar to Shelley anyway, so just watch the first episode. We get to the end of the first film in less than 10 minutes, where we see what happens to Ash after the Deadite attacked him. He becomes possessed, but due to his plot armour, the sun burns up the demon when it rises. Ash drives to the bridge he went over earlier, but it was destroyed by the demons. Don't smack your car, you'll destroy it and you'll struggle to start it like you did in the last movie. Then Ash goes back into the cabin, running away from the Deadite. Two characters named Annie and Ed are going to the cabin where Ash is at, to complete the Necronomicon, with the pages that they have found. Ash is attacked by the Deadite Linda, who bites his hand, but he takes revenge by cutting her apart with a chainsaw. His hand starts growing black veins, which makes me want to call him Eddie Brock. They also grow long sharp nails, since his hand is now possessed. Annie and Ed meet up with a couple named Jake and Bobby Joe, being shortened to Joe for this episode, who are in this film so we can see some gore. And since Joe does this the whole movie, Bruce Campbell does some good hand acting when the hand attacks him, even though you can tell he's having to voice over his lines. And when you think the hand has the better of him, he cuts it off with a chainsaw. He tries shooting at his hand, but I think it would have been easier if Ash just sent out Pikachu. He actually shoots the hand, but I don't remember hands having that much blood. Ash goes to sit down and falls through the chair, which makes everything, including him, start laughing, before he gets into a dance battle with a lamp. After everyone goes quiet, Jake and Ed tackle Ash, since he was shooting random items, and it looks worse due to that bloody chainsaw, so they lock him in the cellar. The group listens to the tape again, where it's revealed that the person talking is Annie's father, and it's also revealed that Annie's mother was possessed and locked into the cellar. Henrietta could have survived this by not translating a book for demons. Ash is let out of the cellar and they trap Henrietta back in it, which pops out her eyeball into Joe's mouth. Oh no, you left Donald Duck in there with her! Henrietta is actually played by Ted Raimi, brother to Sam Raimi, the director, who we previously saw in the original Candyman. Henrietta pretends to be a human, but thankfully Annie's smart, so she doesn't believe it. But it doesn't matter, since somehow Ed is possessed. I honestly can't give advice, since I don't know how this happened to him, so Ash chops him up after he tries letting Henrietta out. So they try guessing what game Ash was added to in 2019.
Dead by dawn! Dead by dawn!
Ooh, close, but it was actually Dead by Daylight. They investigate a noise in a room where Joe finds a hand that Ash lost somewhere, and she stupidly knocks out the lamp and runs outside. Two massively stupid mistakes. She is grabbed by a tree with its branches, but Raimi had 6 years to learn his mistakes, so the tree just turns her into Lightning McQueen, dragging her so quickly across the floor and then into a tree. She could have survived this by just not going outside into the forest, since there's no excuse that she was scared, but she was literally warned by Ash and Jake. Ash and Annie look at the Necronomicon pages they found, where in 3000 AD, some hero with a blue shirt and chainsaw saved people from the Deadites. I wonder who that could be. Jake stupidly holds the two at hostage and throws away the pages before forcing them to the forest to look for Joe. I can't wait for your bloody death. Ash becomes possessed again, chucking Joe into a tree and chasing Annie into the cabin. Annie then stabs Jake with the demon dagger from the first movie accidentally, which leaves her prone to attacks from the evil Ash. Jake is then dragged into the cellar by Henrietta and devoured. My dreams can come true, and they're extremely bloody for some reason. Jake could have survived this by moving himself from the cellar, unless he was stabbed in the back, which he wasn't, so he should be fine. Ash then comes unpossessed when he sees Linda's necklace. We then get the coolest scene, where Ash prepares himself to go into the cellar to get the pages back. You can't tell me that isn't Aura. He's literally got a chainsaw for a hand. Ash gets the pages from the cellar, but is attacked by Henrietta, who escapes. Ash then fights Henrietta, who turns herself into a monkey giraffe. Ash then gets another aura-filled moment.
Swallow this.
A giant monster tries attacking the house, whilst Annie tries banishing the Deadites, but she is stabbed by Ash's hand. The final words are banishing the Deadites before she dies. She could have survived this by paying attention to her surroundings more, especially if the Deadites were trying to attack her. And also, I imagine a hand crawling up to you with a giant dagger is going to be noticeable. The portal doesn't stop though, since Ash is sucked into it along with the Deadites. The movie then ends with Ash being trapped into 3000 AD, where it's revealed he was the hero from the pages. After the film is over, I will rank the survivability of the movie and how much I liked it in a tier list. I think that the average person can't survive Evil Dead 2, since possessions just can randomly happen again. I believe that Evil Dead 2 ranks in the A tier, since it's so much better than the first film, and people remember this movie more than the original. This has been you Versus, and I'll see you next time. Groovy?
For that arrogance, I shall see you dead.
Yeah. All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up. See this? This is my boomstick. It's a 12-gauge double-barreled Remington. S-Mart's top of the line. You can find this in the sporting goods department. That's right, this sweet baby was made in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Retails for about $109.95. It's got a walnut stock, cobalt blue steel, and a hair trigger. That's right, shop smart. Shop S-Mart.